Hi, it's Matt Sorensen, Coldwell Banker in Encinitas. I know there's been a lot of talk about the commissions and the lawsuit with the NAR, National Association of Realtors, and I'm trying to give a little bit of synopsis here of what actually happened. A lot of people think that commissions are going to go away; they're going to reduce our commissions. That may be the case in some circumstances, but the bottom line is that what they're trying to get across is all commissions are negotiable. And whether you're a buyer or a seller, it's up to you and your agent that you're interviewing to come up with what's reasonable to pay for you, either as a buyer or a seller, to list your home or go buy a home. So what's really come to light is that the overall feeling was that sellers were obligated to pay a buyer's commission or compensation to a buyer's agent for commission. That's never really been the case, but now they're really making a point that all commissions are negotiable. So come July 15th, um, if you're representing, an agent is representing you as a buyer, there needs to be an agreement in place, a buyer's representation agreement. Very similar to the way we sit down with a seller, you have a listing agreement. So in both cases, what this lawsuit has done is forced consumers, whether you're buyer or seller, to sit down with an agent. And what I feel after 25 years of doing this is actually a good thing. And now, instead of just having to prove my worth verbally, now we're going to put it in writing. So 25 years in the business, I'm going to sit down with a buyer. I'm going to give you my value, why to work with me. And that buyer and I, as a buyer's agent, are going to agree to how much commission I'm going to be paid if and when we close on a home. Now, the next step is that going to come out of the buyer's pocket or is it going to come off the seller's side? Now, really, when you're negotiating a contract, it depends. Each listing is going to be different. So let's flip the switch here and let's talk about a seller. So if I'm working with a seller, I'm going to tell a seller, this is what my commission is. So let's just say kind of average standard around the area is 2.5%. So that 2.5% goes to my broker as being the listing agent for you. Okay. It's my job to advise you on the benefits of offering a compensation to a buyer or a buyer's agent. So let's say we're offering 2.5% to a buyer or buyer's agent. Our listing probably going to get more attention, more attraction, because if a buyer is responsible now to pay for that buyer's agent, they're going to want to see that the seller is offering some kind of compensation on their listing. So if I go in as a buyer and I've already agreed with my buyer's agent that they're going to get paid 2.5%, it's just a lot easier for negotiations that that's already included in the purchase price. Now, if it's not, if that seller says we're offering 0, which they're more than welcome to do, that's going to make it a little bit more complicated and difficult for that buyer and the buyer's agent to submit an offer. They're going to have to figure out how to include that into a contract, into a purchase agreement. Absolutely can be done. So as a seller, what they're going to want to look for is the net. So you've got the purchase price minus any compensation they're offering, closing costs, and what's the net. That's really what a seller should focus on. But at the end of the day, being in this business 25 years, I'm going to show my worth to a seller. This is the commission I'm asking for on the seller side. Then what I suggest they offer to a buyer side. And then flip the switch again. I'm on the buyer side with as a buyer's agent working with a buyer. I'm going to tell the buyer, look, here's this agreement. These are my responsibilities to you. This is what you are responsible for paying me at the close. It's my job to, if you're doing, especially if you're doing a loan, to get that included in the purchase price so it can be financed. So any questions, I'd love to talk to you more about it. My number is 858-204-6288.